Hello, hello, hello. If it isn't you apes. Hi to Case Guy, Frostcrest, Henry Harding, I'm Not a Cat, Space. I'm Frostcrest. Rocky Outcrop, can you spend time today talking about how a crypto share dividend issue? Oh, I was supposed to answer that for Frostcrest earlier. Yes, I was supposed to do that. How a crypto share dividend may affect the price of GME. Not a crypto buff, right? So cryptocurrencies, they're immutable, right? They're on the blockchain. The information about them is there. You can verify it. You can check it. It's inherently secure because through the process of the network spreading and checking any transactions on the network, it needs to verify that with the blockchain. That's every other previous transaction that's gone before. And every node on the network needs to have a same copy of that blockchain in order to process further transactions on it, or else it stalls and doesn't process, and that's how it catches things that aren't meant to be there. That's one of the reasons why it's so secure, and this is a part of the essence of blockchain. This infinite ledger that constantly takes every transaction and adds it to its own content, and so then it becomes repeatable and shareable and immutable. Whoops, that was Rocky. Yeah, well, same difference, right? In the end of the day, so well, there's big differences, but we'll let them be figured out by the audience as and when they become apparent. So we're looking at the 1 minute chart on GME in the background here, and we'll take that to close and then do a quick bit of TA at some point between here and then. So having a crypto dividend means that this dividend, the essence of that will be that this dividend itself becomes a security, and that security is trackable, traceable, in that everybody who's due one, it'll be able to measure like whether or not they're getting one. So the issue with crypto dividends and GME is yet to be clear how they're going to distribute it or what it's going to be in essence. If, for example, this is a dividend that can be claimed by shareholders, it's a security that only certain people are able to exchange for its monetary value or use it to claim a certain amount of monetary value. And so how does that distribution work? Is it on the underwriters who'll be facilitating the distribution of the dividend? Is it via the prime brokers, who are the ones who initially would have sold on the shares? Or is it something that the client, the shareholder, takes themselves in order to get paid on demand? Does the bearer get paid on demand themselves? And so how does that situation work, and what are the implications for it? That's something yet we can't predict, and those people who are predicting it don't really know. And so a crypto dividend, the implications are all depend upon how it's administered and distributed. It may well not be the catalyst that drives the squeeze, depending on those aspects of it, but it may well be on the other hand. So when we looked at the prospectus from GME on Rocky's show yesterday, well, we all got a chance to see him go through his perspective on things, and he touched on this idea of this crypto dividend, how it would be listed as a security, how they may make market makers or perform a market maker role, how they may allow private sales, and how it might be necessary for some people who've gone overly short to acquire some of it in order to close out their positions, and GME seem to give themselves the ability to do all those things. Which I'd invite other people to do their own research on. And so, like, the nature of the crypto dividends, I can tell you, what are you trying to do, Coco? Are you trapped up there? Oh yeah, I see. So the nature of a crypto dividend. Go on down. Come on. Come here. Jump. Jump. Hi. It's all good up here, okay? Yay. Okay, so Coco's Scythe off the top of the wardrobe, but not sure quite how he got up there in first. She got up there in the first place. So yeah, it's about the nature of the dividend, how its distribution. That's how what'll affect the squeeze or not. But it seems that the only reason you'd come up with one of these in the first place is to cause the squeeze, right? I mean, why else would you be interested in a crypto dividend? They've had dividends that have worked perfectly well for coming up for a couple of 100 years now. More, 240 odd years. And so why is it that Ryan Cohen thinks it's a good idea and GameStop think that it would work out on behalf of shareholders? Why would that be? Well, it can only be because they're anticipating the squeeze. With regards to who makes the most from this particular mechanism they're using, that's up for debate, but I think it's quite positive. So that's generally the answer there. I mean, maybe you want specifics, and if you do, based on that, let's talk about them. Hey Jamie, would you please add a toddler Bing Bong shirt to the Unreasonable shop at less than unreasonable price? My 3-year-old keeps asking me for a monkey shirt. Jennifer Campbell. Sure, I'll add a toddler one. I think there is that option on there, fairly straightforward. So I'll add that. Yes, I'll add one, and it'll be sure, right? If it's for someone under the ages of 12, I can probably do it at cost price, right? H. Jones, Rockets, Grace Foundation. I Jewel, I am not a cat. You want to fight somebody, Grace Foundation? That's not like you. I'm not a cat. Grace Foundation wants to jewel you. Yep, that's it. You two are going to have fights now. Coco's going high with us. Yeah, he's very high. Got a bit scared of himself there. Right, so that's that, generally spoken, that's that. And it's 211.39. 213 would be nice for GME if we could open and close that back again. Not spectacular by any means. What's up here at 211? We've already got a cost. In order to get there, you'll have to get beyond the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame now. Is that a big deal? No, it isn't. What's this green line going through here? Well, I don't think we need it anyway. Don't need a lot of angular lines. What's that? Move that too, thanks. And a slightly cleaner picture. Here you can see the channel we're in, more or less, right? That's debatable, this bit here with the two equal lows. Well, this was maybe not as low. Itchy nose. Sorry me, pardon me. Yes. So you'll notice I've got subscriber only mode on. If you want to make a comment, you have to be a subscriber, which has resulted in me in the channel getting how many? It's like another 20 odd subscribers, which is maybe more. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but the average subscriber growth in a minute has been dying off. It's like 2 or 3 a day, so to get 20 is like awesome. So thanks very much for everybody who's joined. It's really appreciated. A Coco shirt maybe. If a Coco shirt, well, yeah, I could do that. I'd need somebody who's good with the old design skills to be implementing some sort of Coco shirt there. But I would certainly like a shirt with Coco on it myself. The money is the locker room from the clip in Tradespotting. What money? GME, stock price that hasn't had a poo in 3 days. It's going to be messy. Well, I did talk about that a little bit in the earlier clip I put up, which got a couple of 100 views, which was like if they keep getting no views, then there's no real point in doing them, to be honest. I know they help some people, but if they're only helping a couple of 100, then it's hurting the channel overall in search results, so that like a couple of 1,000 less people see the live stream. Then I know it would help some people, and do want to help everybody, and I'm only in this to help people, but if the net cost to doing videos, the little ones, is that nobody actually clicks on them, then I'm not going to make them, right? 8 minutes out of people's days seems like a pretty good thing, but right, it's not getting the traction you might imagine. Right, so anyway, here I am doing another one though, like, call me crazy. Right, so we're on the 1 minute chart. Shall we do our TA on that time frame and then do the RAF on that? That's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? We'll start on the 15 minutes and then work our way down. Why are these not showing up properly? These window captures is not correct. I'll just hide them for now, right? The price is 211.39. We're on the 15 minute chart. Zoom out a little bit. We'll just use RSI, and we don't need to MACD. That's our volume there. Totally dead. Sure, the moving average went up with this big spike on Friday. But like the trend hadn't changed at all. It's still diminishing, turning into nothing. And other than that spike we had here from the Russell rebalancing, volatility has been, and obviously this little peak here. Yeah, you can see that things have been grinding to a halt with regards to sales. There's literally nobody selling this thing, and that's confirmed by the fact that there's literally no transaction on it at all. And this is this line of support coming in here, this line of support, and this is the way price action evolves, right? We're looking for us to break out of this downward sloping channel, which has put in a series of lower lows and a series of lower highs. What you need to change is you need to put in a higher low, which we've done one of here. You could also say that happened here though, and subsequently we put in a lower high and went on to then form a lower low. So flux is the name of the game at the minute, or people might call it chop, but this is much of a muchness in terms of opening closes on the daily chart. So you want to put in a higher high, haven't put in a lower low, and that would mean that we'd arrest this drop at some stage. The areas where you'd pick it up at are 204 and 209, spot 50, and that sort of thing. And then from an upside, you're really looking to capture this Fibonacci, the 236, and this retrace. And to get there, you need to get closes around 224, 224.50, even better 225. We should also be breaking this level of resistance here, where we've found lots of candle closes at the top of this formation. Even though it is itself sloping down, you can see that there is a horizontal line there that is relevant, pertinent, and interesting. After you get there, it's stair stepping it up, right? You want to go to the 382 and the 0.5 and the 618, but I think that you go straight to the 618 when you're putting a 4-hour close up and above here. Right now, that 4-hour close could be anywhere above here, but that's what I think. And at the end of it, you'll find yourself then at the next one up and around to the top of here, which is like 277. Maybe you'll have little areas in between, but I expect it to be quite violent because that is the nature of things after they've been so. A string has been coiled as much as this one seems to, and here's the measured move out of that. You can also draw a measured move that takes you to the start of that area by going through this W pattern. That might be your measured move off the top of that and taking you up to 382. And that you don't pause there for long. Tradespotting, let's get it to 15k subs. Let's fucking go. Yeah, that'd be awesome. The only way we'll get there is with lots of people sharing things. So please share everything. Comment, like, subscribe, so on and whatnot. The more the merrier, very much so. Just to show you like what it's like. Go to my channel, you'll see things here. There's Rocky, 879 views, and that like so many lessons in there. Like he puts the work in really. And what did I get on this one? 187 people watching now. That's awesome. There's this TA summary I did for today earlier on, and it had 359 views. Right, so like nobody's watching this shit. Let's share it and get it out there and tell people this is really something that's worth putting your eyes on, because the price action itself is not doing it for us. It'll have to be the entertainment value or something in there. So if you find anything interesting, you want to clip it into a wee stream, you can use your screen recordings, and you get that, and I'd really appreciate it, and I'd do anything I can to thank you for it too. Right, so the price action, we're looking at this video is supposed to be a short one. It's helpful. We don't want to moan about nonsense, but all your help's appreciated. Thank very much. 15,000 subscribers would be great. Then we'd be halfway there to like a sustainable future, I think, really. And there's 10 grand there to win on a treasure hunt. Don't give up. It's heating up now. So you're gonna get above this 236. In order to do that, you're gonna have to get closes above 225. And then we expect prices to go up around 227. In order to get to 227, it might not take that much volume, because with there being so little, there's also going to be like absolutely little pressure on the opposite direction. So when one trend takes over, then it really will take over. And as I think about trends taking over, whoops-a-daisy, don't need too many of these. They are good, but we don't need duplicates. And then we'll go in and take a look at this Rookip's DMI, and you can see that the colours have changed back to the defaults again, right? The ones that are important to pay attention to are the yellow for the uptrend, it's called the DI+, the pink is the downtrend, that's the DI negative, DI minus, and then the ADX, this blue, it changes to orange to blue to orange to red, and then when it gets really low it changes to like grey metal-y colour there. And you can also see that periods of extreme low on this and could lead to possible outbreaks of volatility. And you can see here, right, this ADX being so low means that the dominant trend has no strength, and the dominant trend previously was this the DI minus, right, the negative. But now we've had a kiss and a cross, so that's positive formation. It's only 15 minutes, but you can see that that's a good thing. The fact that it's happened above here is positive. We want to see it happen in the DI plus up here above 28, anywhere above 28 is positive, and we want to see the ADX turn around, hopefully, as that's making its way up there. And if it can come from these low positions into position strength, that would be really positive. In terms of a trend, it's only 15 minutes, but if you go to the 4 hour, you can see it does tend to bounce around these levels. There's no specific area you could draw a line through it or that. Here, you could see that we have done just before and said that this is perhaps indicative of, like, even the weaker trend doesn't get the same extremes on it, and that to be happening as price action is going down slightly might indicate a degree of hidden bullish divergence on the DMI, which itself is very difficult to spot at the best of times, but there it is. So this is 211 spot 26, and when you're on that 4 hour, you can see that this 4 hour has been a positive candle that doesn't even reach the top of the previous one. On this little move, if we were to draw it in a sort of tiny wee Fibonacci and say, right, it's from down here and it goes to up here-ish. Where does it actually go to, though? Let's be honest. There's the top of that wick. Could take it to there. Could take it to the body closes. You can see the 236 here is like 219 spot 93. So above there would be positive 219. Do I see us making it there within the next 10 minutes, 11 minutes? Well, let's drop down again, see if there is any reason why that might happen. Bounce off the 618, cover the 0.5, we've got the 21, we're above the 55 period, the 100 periods exponential moving average as well. That's positive. It's not desperately positive, but it has managed to flit above. There was some divergence again, likely there with the price lower. Let's see that works out positively. Expect us at least to try our previous highs, 21231. Let's call it around 21311 is probably where price action finishes. 21311. That would be a move out of this very low level. There's no real formation there. I mean, you might say that there's some sort of rounding bottom going on here. Certainly it might look like that if price action starts closing above this 100 exponential period moving average, but that's, as we say, in the offing. It's in the offing, right? I don't expect this price action to go to 215. There are too many little things on this time frame here that will stop it, and there isn't enough time left for it unless something really exciting happens. But 21311 is what I'm expecting. What's with the volume today is really, the volume is like nearly non-existent. We're on this tiny time frame. Let's zoom in and show you. Oops. This is on exchange volume, so apparently this is the truth, but if you believe that, you believe anything. This is as accurate as you're going to get, and it's what we've been looking at and using to measure this all in the past, so it's still relevant for us because it's relevant to our analysis. But we can see that it's so low. How many times has it been lower than this recently? Here, once on the 28th of June, it was potentially lower. Twice on the 25th of June, 28th and 25th of June. Bear in mind on the 5-minute chart. But if you're having to go back weeks and weeks to find something, which I are, then and not only is it below there, it's had a number of days that's like there or below over a number of periods of that today, so it's really awful volume. Like, when I say awful, I mean like awfully low. Look at that on the early charts, just be getting worse and worse and worse. And this is when things tend to explode. Right, look at that. When you go back, I mean, I could drop a horizontal on to point out how this hour is virtually zero, right? It's there, you know, and how far back. I mean, let's just. I mean, you know, bearing in mind where that green thing, right? You see that green marker on the right of the chart? That's where the volume is less than, and look what you have to do just to see what's going on before. It's still only on the hourly candles. These are all hourly volumes. You see that it's literally never been this low. It's literally never been this low, and never meaning in its history of its everness. So yeah, it's like, you know, you're not kidding yourself, and you're like, wow, volume really seems like it sucks. It definitely does. And what happens, right? This is indicative of something that's going to go crazy. When the volume does come in, the trend will be identified clearly, and obviously it'll be breaking levels of support or resistance, and in no short time it'll smash through them one after the other, and that system of expansion in the price that's representative of all this tension that's created by the constant accumulation. You know, the same accounts accumulating more, the same accounts accumulating more, the available supply decreasing. You break through a level of resistance, in floods loads new market participants. They all want a piece of something which there's hardly any of, because these accounts have bought all of the liquid supply that was being put onto the market, all of the lows. You know, the diamond hands here are never going to change their mind, and the new people coming in need some. They market buy it. They take it off everybody who's willing to get any. The stupid people that think they can go short and think, oh, what's happening? They'll have plenty of people willing to take their trades, and because we're all holding on to what we've got, and we've been holding on to it for ages, and to the point now where you know, this is get the fuck out of my garden, right? That's what that is. You want to try and take my GME shares off me for $200 and something. Like, get the fuck out of my garden. That's what that is, you know. And it's only a matter of time before people decide, right? And, you know, a wee bit of flick on that, wee tiny flick, we got up to support, it breaks through, people come in, it goes, and that's the way these things go, and that's the way that GME is going to go. Dropping down. Let's look at it on 12 hour and see if there's anything there. Nope. Volume's obviously again crushed. Sure, there's been times in 12 hours when it's been low, but has it been lower than now? No. Never. So that's your information for you folks. It is the volume is gone. And we were talking about this. I was talking about this with Ape Andy this morning. It's very much like a tsunami, right? When you see the tide disappearing, you see it. And you're like, whoa, look at that. Look at this glorious beach that we've yet to see, we've yet to experience. Shall we go down, paddle? No, you get the hell out of there and run to high water, because, oh my goodness, there is a tsunami of price action coming. And what do tsunamis do? Well, it breaks through walls and that, and these walls are here, and they're here, and they're up at 264 and 267, 277, and then they're all the way up at 343. And it's going to take a long time for this tide to subside. And as you can see on the 4 hour, the JDX right down there, you're getting your kiss between your DI negative and your DI positive. This is like the perfect setup for an explosion in price action. It's come after the Rick and Morty lips. It's the perfect setup. It's exactly what you want to see. This is going to disappear as this background, as these lines move outside of this background. Price action is going to take a jump. It's going to jump, and then when that jump is finished, it's going to come back to where it started, and then the real trend is going to kick off, and it will be supported by volume. And it is coming soon. Oh, it is coming soon. Will it come by the end of the day? No, it won't, because there's only minutes left. Specifically, 4 minutes less, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, as you can see it counting down the right hand side. Now this guy's happy and this guy's not as happy, but he's also got his own little body, and it does look slightly suspicious right now. Is he lying down? What is he doing? Anyway, he's certainly got his face on. Right, so this is our high, this is chunk 1, this is 236. It falls in line with the downward pattern here. It's nearly inevitable the prices are going to be back at 220 at some stage. It's quite obvious to most market participants that's happening, so we'll see how it evolves. So that's caught by this 100 period simple, 200 periods. On the 15 minutes, what it bounced down from, caught by the 20, at least it will be, I expect, when this closes, 210 to 211.36. So that's what we would have liked to have seen it above, and then close above this 200, and then push up the way. Let's see how that goes. Yep, but this is going to close, surely it would be above 210.93. Yeah, nearly definitely it will be. Oh, Peter Fraser, welcome to Chimp. Very, very welcome to Chimp. Diddling, boom, boom. This is wrong. The price is wrong. Thank you very much, Peter Harper Fraser. Peter Fraser. Thank you, Peter. Really appreciate it. So if you're thinking about becoming a member, that's really appreciated. Do think about it. It helps the channel. Thanks very much, Peter. That's really appreciated. So if you want to know anything or that, give me a shout. And if I can see your message, then I'll definitely do it. Come on, Kenham, let's duel. Somebody's chicken out, Jeff. They're not up for it. They're a chicken. Upgraded! Peter Fraser. You're the man, Peter Fraser. Thank you so much. It's really good. You're a legend. That means a lot. It really makes a difference. Thank you so much. Right, 618 here. Yeah, why am I saying that? I'm just getting back, and obviously it draws the eyes. There's the 0.52. It's a 50% retrace on a Fibonacci. It's like also, that's where Dow Jones theory says, things test the 50%. They always come back to test the 50%. Finish above that, be positive, and that's only at 211.60, right? That's not asking much, but then it is when you're saying, Jamie, it's a whole dollar, and we've only got 60 seconds. Well, let's see how those 60 seconds go. It doesn't take many people to buy this to push it up there. Like, there is no volume, right? So you can imagine, right? If you're looking to buy it, you could probably knock it up yourself. That's not financial advice. Grace Foundation, you already have a duel initiated. I thought Grace is starting fights with everybody. Grace, I say Grace, but it's like a dude there. Grace Foundation, bing bong. Is that a victory sound? The duel is cancelled. The duel is cancelled. Is that good to see? Jeff Smith cancelled it. Aye, slots. Whoop. Yeah, it's like we need to get some pints in here and a pool table, right? That's what it's like. So, price action. 20 period moving average, 200 period moving average. You're on a 15-minute time frame. Them being so close together, they're both so important. It's likely that prices do a little bing bong between them. To ask anything to happen outside of that within the next 14 seconds is going to lot. Finishing up the 20 period is good on the daily time frame. You can see which is what we're coming in for any second now. Close here. It's the continuation of the same trend. Is it higher, lower? There we go. That's it, folks. The day has ended. It's not good. That's a bearishly engulfing again. Not positive, not desperately bad, but it's not great. It's not a lower low. If anything, it's a continuation of this flux. And there you go. Another close above 210.74. What you've been looking for always is closes above the 618 here at 208, 209, give or take a couple of pennies, cents, dimes, centimos, pesetas, whatever it is. You give or take a couple of them. Go along with that. And then so it's positive, although you could say that that's to a degree not positive. Then it has got a wick on both sides of it. So let's say leave the jury out and see how tomorrow's price action goes. Post market will be interesting. Don't trust the figures to see there, never do for the first wee while. Again, there it is, folks. The volume is in. It's NAF. The trend continues with this diminishing volume. Prices will take off sooner or later. I expect tomorrow, because of the way today closed, that we'll see at some point, maybe early doors. Maybe post-market only, 208.40, maybe 208.18, that sort of thing. And then if we can hold here and test again at the top of the channel at that stage, only comes in at around 215. 208 to 215 might be the sort of range you're looking at tomorrow if volume doesn't pick up. And if it does pick up, especially at these sort of levels, perhaps we do make it on up to 220 and 225 and close above that 236. Between the 618 and 236 is very typical of your old bing bonging on price action. So that's it. That's your TA, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Hope so. So how many people did we get watching? 263 people watching, 149 likes. I'm sure if you were to click that like button, we could perhaps get that up to like 275. If you could just go tap like, that might help. We got a new member today, which is brilliant. And we got a couple of donations earlier on, which is also very, very positive. Thank you so much for the support. It really helps. Don't want to rely on too much on any one person, so I was hoping to grow the audience more. But everybody who does help is really appreciated. Thanks very much. And the biggest way you do that is by sharing and telling everybody how awesome it is over here. 1074. 210 spot 74. And the day is gone. And the day is closed. I'm being followed by a moonlight shadow. Uh-oh. I just want to know why BSQR isn't doing what the fit is doing. So illogical. What is it doing then? Sure, we said there might be a drop, but who knows, it could go on. Where did we do it? We did add it, but it's not obvious. There it is there. Right at the bottom of the list. On the daily, let's go down to 15. Had a big jump there from this orange and the 21. Surely we would have talked about this, did we? Did we not talk about this? That would be potential entry. I'm sure it didn't quite get there. Bump. Where did we talk about it at? Somewhere like here. I can't remember. And we've just got this big gap to fill. Do we worry about that? I'm sure we talked about this earlier. Whatever I said earlier, I still think that that's probably relevant. You got that other up, and that's again weakening, but this going like that. I expect this will come round a little bit. It's a question of where does it get picked up. Here's all the potential places for it to do so, and there's the daily moving averages with the positive splay all coming in around the same place. And the 20 period comes in with this one, 55 with this one. These will be Fibonacci levels that we've drawn out, right? You can see that some of them are yellow and some of them are blue, so yes, they are. Yeah, so the 0.5 and the 618, yeah, that's still where I think so the most sensible place to enter this if it keeps on going. And congratulations to everybody who's in it, and it may go on up to there, but I just if you're a sensible trader, you'll be waiting for good re-entries, and that's those are what they are. Where's my thing here? This is miles away, this entry, but yeah, let's in fact move that over in case it does come down. Now we can at least say, yo, we talked about this. So I know it seems like, yeah, price is miles away, you know, and everybody excited about things that are moving, they want to buy in, but trust me, the way to trade is to buy support, not resistance. And if a trade's gone, that's cool, right? It's not a big deal. There's infinite amounts of these everywhere, all the time, every second of every day. So think about it. 194 likes. Got another 30 likes. That's not bad, but there's 236 people watching, so there's at least another 40 odd people, 42 people that are watching and could click that like button. You could do it. Your TV lets you. It would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Always got to pull me back in, Rocky. Rocky being sensible, keeping everybody straight. Quote here. Here you go. Get out of my garden. That's a good quote, that. Bethany Jones, thanks so much for buying t-shirts earlier and a fanny pack. I want to see what they look like on you. Please do send me a photograph on Instagram if you like. Epiphany, you could see me. I'm King Jamie the First on Twitter, which I'll eventually, one of these days, probably get my account back, is at _Jamie_Curran. 241 and 203 likes. Yay, awesome. And what do you think of today's thumbnails? Anyone got any impressions of them? I think they're pretty darn nice. I'm a big fan myself. Big fan myself, but I'm telling you. GME USD here. This is what it's like when you're trading it on Bitrex. 12 hours, very similar, isn't it? You got your not dissimilar, but your volume's obviously different here. It's a different type of exchange. And it trades 24/7, and it's GME. Right, that's one of them. Yeah, it's one place you could think about doing that. The trend's all intact. Same sort of deal with regards to highs, maybe even doing better on the 12 hour here. You can see on this particular exchange, maybe people are even more enthusiastic or buying it. And interesting. And then GME USD here. As you can see, this market is open. This is GME. It's traded versus Tether, and that's on the Bitrex exchange. This one is versus US dollar, so you're getting even better deal on the US dollar entry there. So that's cool, you know, and that's another way that you can get involved in the whole process of this movement we're in. Different places you can buy things, different things you can do, and there's all sorts of other exchanges that handle GME if you think about it, and you're smart. 210.74. So this is the real price apparently. Hi Coco, you're really loud in there. Right, so that's TA. And if I've missed anything, what would it be? Well, I was also going to talk about the Bollinger Bands, wasn't I? I never really seem to do this despite saying that I'm going to. Right, so we're below the basis line. We've touched the center line once, but the lower level. It does look at this stage, you're thinking, well, if you can't maintain it, it will touch it again, like it did here. Like, it had a number of touches, and this is a move up, and then it touches it again. That's all above this level of support. And you turn on these orange lines, you'll see that some of them intersect with the top here again. You know, quite a number of them do, and these green ones. So that's an important level. May well be that you touch down here. That would take your price down below 200 again, but so. Let's see, it's actually, the chances are it goes up, and there's 237 goes above that top basis line in 12 hour. If we drop down to 4 hour, what does that look like? Well, you can see there it is, Bollinger Band squeezed, right? And this is what it's been like for a number of days, and why I meant to have this on before, along with the potential bigger signal that's looked like it's about to be given DMI. You can also see that the Bollinger Bands have contracted to the point that, like they do it here, when the range between them is so very small that when things break out, they tend to go on a bit of a run and trace them up again. So looking for something like that, something similar like that to happen here. Where else might you have seen things like that? Well, obviously that took a long while to recover, but bing bong, go between them, right? And at this point, it's historically, it's very, very, very tight compared to what it's been like in this whole period of time. The closest they got before was in and around here, before the big jump at the start of March, end of February, and then subsequent to that it was again at the big move start of January there. So, you know, things are getting really, really tight, and if you combine this aspect of the Bollinger Bands, the tightness, you know, the truth of the average true range, right, the actual one over this look back period, and you look at this confirmation with the volume getting so crushed, you look at this piece of the DMI talking about how the trend is about to change and break out very strongly, and then you combine that with the HVP, which we had on earlier in the 4 hour time frame, which let's just slap them all on together, and you've got the trifecta of holy shitness coming up. Look at that, right? You've got no volume, you've got every possible signal on the DMI, you've got this signature on the 4 hour on the HVP that you only ever had when it's coming in to put in lows that it's never had before. Bum 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 bum. Price is totally screwed. Yes, Jennifer King, Campbell. Yo, awesome. Welcome to Chimp. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Love the little headband. Looks very dashing on you there in a little monkey head. That's amazing. And then you'll notice with these headbands, they change after every month you've been on. And by the time you get to 6 months of being a member, you'll have a red headband. And at that point, you can say that you have survived 6 months of being a trader, which is something that approximately is anything between 80 and 90% of people never do. So you've managed to validate your own decisions, your own strategy. And anyone who tells you that buying and holding isn't a sophisticated approach to the markets, you can tell them, well, I've earned a red headband on like a channel about TA that's not for beginners, to be honest. It really just isn't, and it's never going to make its way there. And if we are all beginners, then we're going to have to fucking catch up quickly. And that's suffice to say, we're all doing that, right? Welcome so much. That's so great. Appreciated. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Jennifer. You're both really welcome. So on the screen here, you've got the Bollinger Bands. They're tightening to the point where you'll only ever have seen this ahead of huge moves. The volume is lower than it's ever been on the 12-hour candles, literally in the lifetime of GME. At the same time, on this 4-hour time frame, you've got the DMI, Rocky's one, telling you, even color coding, how that there's a huge move coming. And then on the HPV, we all know the bing bong move. We talked about it. The signal, everything is still in play. In fact, it's just done the same thing it just did the last time before it fucking exploded really fast. So things are coming up for a big move, folks. Is it the end of this week? Is it the end of next week? Is it the week after that? Well, I can't imagine this would go on much longer. And some people will draw things on charts and they'll say, look, it's coming to 75% full, right? And to you know, depending on what formation you're looking at the minute, and depending on what timeline you're looking at, you could say that this formation, this gut whip handle, it is ready to fucking explode, right? It really is. And then you start looking at this differently and you say this is an ascending triangle, right? There's your top line. Sorry, it's hard to see things. Here's your supply line, right? You can call this a wedge, you can call it whatever you want, right? But the top line, more or less, it's horizontal. Especially when you're talking about candle closes. It comes in here around 343. It looks like prices are about to break out of here. You are so full in this formation. It is completely wound up. This is going to go crazy, right? This isn't financial advice, but the truth is, if it was a political action, which I feel like it is, it's worth so much of your money, and it will reward you in ways you can't even imagine, right? So it's not financial advice, and I can't give it to you because it isn't ethical, or it would probably be against the rules. But GME, it's killing it. It's really killing it, and it could be the best thing you ever do in your life. So if you're not in yet, you should get in. And if you know people who aren't in, share this video, talk about these indicators, tell them, right? This is it, right? We had the bing and and now we're going to get the bong. And when we do, you're looking at 343 from 210. That's a huge increase. And when it gets there, it's going crazy. And there's lots of other things we could look at, and they include AMC, they include MMAT, they include even Twitter's doing alright at the minute. You know, there's loads of things that are doing well. Nvidia, if you're in that, you're making loads of money. Congratulations. We'd like to see Naked pick it up a little bit, but it's a long-term play. And Rolls-Royce, there's like a deep fucking value investment right there. And if I wasn't talking about GME, I might be doing daily streams on Rolls-Royce. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. Thanks for everybody who's got involved. Thanks for everybody who signed up to become members, Jennifer and Peter. Thanks for donations earlier. And thanks for everybody who decided to check out some of the items in the unreasonable.shop. And if you do get them, send me photographs of them. Love to see it. Okay, I'm going to go now. Thanks very much, everybody.